It's always surprising to me that talking about energy and the international system, energy and the UN, comes as a surprise to a lot of people, or as Nancy suggested, this really hasn't been done before. Now, how could one possibly think about development around the world without having, first of all, a pretty sharp focus on energy? Energy empowers, energy enables just about everything that we want to have done in the development process. Kofi Annan, as the Secretary General, began for the first time to try to open a window on energy and did so at Rio Plus 10 in Johannesburg a long time ago. Rio Plus 10, and he for the first time came out of that with agreement to set up an energy office. But not much had happened with that until Ban Ki-moon came in. Surprisingly, Ban Ki-moon, coming out of a very hierarchical South Korean foreign ministry where people thought that he was really going to do traditional kind of diplomatic activities, Ban Ki-moon arrived at the UN with two very deep and surprising commitments. A very deep commitment to thinking and working on climate change and energy, and a very deep commitment to working on women's issues and how do you engage women much more actively in the international system. And this brings us to Rio Plus 20. If we put Rio Plus 20 in a context, Rio Plus 20 is going to be the first of a number of very important sort of way stations between now and 2015. And those way stations get us to the second phase of the Millennium Development Goals. I think many people looking at Rio and looking at the work that the Secretary General has done are hoping that the second phase of the MDGs will include a very important framework for energy. So what should that framework be? The Secretary General, Secretary General Ban, over the last 5 years, using a number of outside task forces, using a very extensive analysis provided by McKinsey, which, by the way, has been extraordinarily helpful, providing a high-level task force and the commitments of hundreds and hundreds of companies, has developed a program for Sustainable Energy for All, or SEFA. So it's a very important time in terms of the history of the UN, a very important time in terms of Ban Ki-moon's own administration, and a very important time for the world's development of its own development agenda, the second phase of the MDGs. Rio is not specifically about climate change, but obviously we can't deal with climate change unless we deal with a number of the building blocks along the way, and energy and dealing with energy and energy efficiency and renewables is a major building block toward an eventual climate agreement.